Hey guys, welcome back to the Cult Classic Cage Show, and just gonna do a quick video just talking about something I found quite fascinating, sort of bittersweet in the grand scheme of things, but it's revolving around John Carpenter in the video game space, and I don't know if you guys are well aware yet, but I absolutely love John Carpenter's films, from the original Halloween to even Halloween 2 as well as 3, Escape from New York is another great one, They Live, and of course, The Thing. Now, it's pretty, obvious that there are a lot of horror films that are inspired by John Carpenter's work. And John Carpenter himself has said quite on a few different occasions that he actually really does enjoy video games. He's definitely a fan of quite a few. He's spoken about it on his Twitter account a few times, and previously, he had spoken about he'd love to do a film adaptation of Dead Space. He's a fan of the franchise, and he said before, like it'd be amazing to do a film based on that lore. So, come to find out, maybe John Carpenter did talk to somebody about a Dead Space movie, but unfortunately didn't quite seem to go as I had thought, or at least that's what I get from this current update. But it seems to be that John Carpenter has kind of confirmed that a Dead Space movie is in the works, or at least here the gamer says John Carpenter suggests a Dead Space movie is in the works, and he's quoted in saying, "I think they already have another director involved." And the article says John Carpenter, best known for Halloween and The Thing, might have just accidentally revealed that a Dead Space movie is in the works, although one that has nothing to do with him. So that's like the bitter sweet thing about it. It's cool that there's a Dead Space movie in the works, but he's not directing it. And oh man, it's such a missed opportunity, in my personal opinion. I think John Carpenter is absolutely amazing, truly a skilled person behind the camera, very thought provoking and thoughtful. Like this dude just knows how to make film, man, and I'm just such a fan long time wise, and he's always pretty much had a level head. I don't always agree with John Carpenter on everything, particularly his thoughts on Halloween 2 is probably the main thing I could voice that I don't agree with from him. But other than that, a lot of the things that he does say I really do agree with, and I think he's a level-headed individual that could bring Dead Space justice, or if he does it in his own way, I think it's one of those things where if Carpenter had would do a Dead Space movie and do it kind of his own way with, using the lore behind it, I think that maybe video game fans wouldn't necessarily be into it, or maybe it's one of those things where if you could just forget that it's supposed to be based off of Dead Space, then you'd love it. I feel like, yeah, even if he didn't adapt Dead Space correctly, it'd still be great for what it was, because John Carpenter doesn't dabble in the woke shit. He just makes straight up film, and he's definitely not about that bullshit. And despite his old age, I think he'd be capable of helming a Dead Space movie. So the article goes on to say, last year Carpenter mentioned in an interview with AV Club that he'd be interested in making a movie adaptation of Dead Space, saying that would make a real great movie. I could do that. Before going on to talk about his love of the series, including the action one that no one else likes. So he's referring to Dead Space 3. And it says here, although many hope that Carpenter would then be attached to a Dead Space movie, he's now clarified in an interview with Variety that isn't the case, noting that he was just speaking hypothetically last time about being a fan of the series in the process. However, Carpenter might have just let it slip that a Dead Space movie is being worked on, even if it's not with him at the helm. So, this dude says, hey, did John Carpenter just leak a Dead Space movie into work? So he said, I think they already have a director involved, and they haven't asked me to do it. That sucks, man. They probably just don't want to pay John Carpenter what he's worth, sadly. Carpenter said, no, 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 I can't believe how that spread. I'm a big video game fan, so I played all the games. I was down looking at the new digital cameras and the Red, and happened to mention to them that I would love to do a Dead Space film. That just went around, and everyone said, "Oh, when are you gonna do it? I'm not gonna do it. I think that they already have another director involved, and they haven't asked me to do it. So until someone asks me, I wouldn't do it. But there's a new version of the Dead Space video game coming out in January, and I'm there. Yo, yo, Carpenter is a fucking real one, bro. I I stand John Carpenter up until the fucking end, guys. So although I'm excited to take this as an instant confirmation of the Dead Space movies being worked on, it's worth giving Carpenter the benefit of the doubt here. The way he speaks about it is very speculative and more like he's commenting on a possibility than a certainty. I mean, I'm sure that maybe he knows, a thing or two of what's going on in Hollywood. John Carpenter, I'm sure knows what a lot of things that's going on. Even if he's kind of like anti-Hollywood in a lot of the sense, he has rejected Hollywood in the past, and I applaud and salute this man for it because he's a fucking badass. He isn't a sellout, um, and it sucks because it would be amazing a fan, a genuine fan of Dead Space being the director of a Dead Space film who's also done some of the most prolific and highly regarded horror films of all time. Like, it just seems like a match made in heaven. So whoever's behind the Dead Space movie not not going for John Carpenter, man, that sucks. But I mean, in the grand scheme of things, there seems like it's possible there's a Dead Space movie in the works. And I mean, that's cool for what it is, but without John Carpenter there, oh man. Yeah, that hurts. That definitely hurts. But guys, let me know what you think about this little tidbit of information. I really wanted to talk about this because any opportunity to talk about John Carpenter to me is one that I don't want to miss out on doing cuz the dude is absolutely amazing. Just the fact that one of my all-time favorite directors, who's a one-of-a-kind director, who's so highly influential in what he has done, is also a huge fan of video games and a huge fan of actually good, respectable video games. That's fucking awesome. Big salute to John Carpenter for being a badass as always. But yeah, guys, let me know what you think about this. If you can, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Follow me over on Twitch or Twitter if you want to continue the conversation. And guys, with that being said, I'm out. Peace.